Hi, I'm Jason Sterling. The game pack being used in this video is provided via complimentary early access from the EA Game Changers program. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Jason Sterling, and we are jumping right into the second episode here. We're picking up where we left off. Trey has invited the sort of rough Trey-looking neighbor in to visit for a bit. And the first thing he does, of course, is steal the kitchen cabinet right out from underneath Trey's cat. And so in a fit of anger, Trey throws him out. Get out, thief, go. Not to say that he isn't marriage material or that we won't actually date him later, but for now he's out because he's got to go. And then we took a look at the neighborhood action plans because one of them has to go too, namely the one that allows people to steal, the sharing is stealing plan. So after that, though, I jumped right into some building on Trey's apartment. And because that's part of what I'm doing too with this new pack is updating his apartment and kind of getting it rehabbed as well. And I really wanted to get started with the sectional furniture, but the first thing I did here was actually put together a half bath under the stairs. So, that's where we're starting. Is with that. And then here in a minute, we'll move into the sectional furniture. But right off the bat, you can see here, it works really great if you want to try this to save space. He can go underneath the stairs there. He's going to go and do his business and then get up and use the sink like normal. And it's good to go. Then we're going to swing into some decorating here at the end of this video because we're going to decorate for a little bit. We're going to go into the cast section for a little bit. We're going to look at the men's stuff, especially since, I'm dealing with a guy in my game. And then at the very end, after cast, we're going to do our second gig, our second decorating job, which is a big surprise. I was really surprised what we ended up getting on that one, but we're going to do it. And then at the very end, I'm going to do a sort of preliminary review of this pack. Now, normally I do kind of a wait and play review after a few days or a week that I've had to actually play the pack. And that's usually because most of the time when I first get a new pack, I mostly just build with it. And in this case, since building is so much of the pack, I feel like I've really played with it a lot from the start. So I'm going to do a preliminary review, not a full review, but a preliminary one before people start buying it on Tuesday. Because this will be out tomorrow on Monday, which is right now. When you're watching it, it's right now. And so we're going to do that. You can take a look and see my sort of initial thoughts. And then in a week, I'll still do at the end of kind of maybe this little series I'm doing with Trey here, a sort of wait and play review of how did it hold up after even say a week of playing it. For now, as you can see, we built a sectional and then I turned it in a different direction. Ideally, I want Trey to live in a larger apartment and I intend to move him to a larger apartment once he's more successful. And that sectional will fit better in a larger apartment. But for now, if it's okay, I like it all right. We're getting a lot of these notices for people I've played in the past but aren't active at the moment, even if I've just played them for a little bit of time, about what I want to set as their likes or dislikes. So you're probably going to get those as well, and you can kind of set what you want them to like or dislike. I'm putting in a cheat here to access the utility kilts because they're behind a gameplay wall. That's what that was about, if you want to put that cheat in to get those early. And then coming up is me. This is going to be me in my utility kilt. That's it there. It's a little big now. Actually, I was surprised because I've lost a little bit of weight. It's a little bit pouchy at the front, but it's okay. This is my utility kilt, though. I love these. I've had one, I've had my eye on them for a long, long, long time. The back there was kind of wrinkled because I've been sitting on it. It's got a great, what I call easy access front, or I also call it kind of the grinder date night front. They got, or you know what? Or also the wedding front, because grooms are always in a rush. They're always in a rush. I was like, hurry up. I got to get to the altar, to finish and get done. So I'm joking on both of those. I've never seduced a groom at his wedding. Not at his wedding. And I've never picked up anybody on Grindr either. I never have. I always joke about that, but I actually haven't. I've looked at it. I've seen it. I've seen what it looks like, what it's about, but I've never done it. Anyway, but that would be perfect for that, don't you think? That's where kilt, because it is just like kind of just flop it open. But I first saw kilts in 2008, utility kilts in 2008 at Juicy Couture. Actually, it was in their window. It was in their window on Fifth Avenue. And I saw it and I was in love. I was like, oh my God, I've got to have one of those. And I went right inside. And the people I was with, my friends and stuff, were like, oh my God, you don't even know how much they're going to cost. It might be like $1,000, but I don't care. I don't care if they're $1,000. I have to have one. So I go rushing inside to get one, and they don't have any. They don't have any for sale ever. Okay. I'm like, what do you mean? It's on a mannequin in your window. You guys don't sell it. And apparently, I'm going to assume this is a New York thing. Apparently, you can kind of like sublet your window, so they kind of lease out the window sometimes to other people to kind of expose, because a lot of people go past that store, it's a big, heavy shopping street. So you can get like that exposure, right? And they can tell me where to order it offline, but they're like, no, yeah, we don't sell those. That's just advertisement for other people. So yeah. So if you move to New York and someone says, hey, can I sublet your window? Don't be surprised. The answer is yes, and then charge them. I always equate it kind of like with, subletting out kind of your fire escape as a bedroom. It's kind of like, well, it is outdoors, but we put a tarp over it for when it rains. And you're like, oh yeah, that's great. How much? Midtown Manhattan. Oh, it's $1,000. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'll do that. That's when I first saw them. Oh, coming up here, speaking of thieves, this is his boyfriend. This is Trey's boyfriend, right? What does he do the first time he visits Trey's apartment? Steals a table. So now I've lost a cabinet and a table. Thanks, Nap. So anyway, I thought about going and try to steal my stuff back, but then I don't think this is ever there anyway, because the game doesn't keep track of that stuff. But that's why I got to get rid of Nap. That's on my list. We're getting rid of it. Trey was not happy, but he still loves his boyfriend, and so he talks to him a little bit, gives him a big kiss, and then he's kind of like, do you have to kind of owe me something for the table, And he does owe him something for the table, so they go upstairs for payment due. Everyone's happy at the end, and it goes great. And, the next morning, Trey has his breakfast, and the guy slept over, of course, and has salad, because that's all Sims make on their own. And then it's time to design. All this has gone fast all of a sudden. It's time to design. We're going to go to our new gig, which is this, an empty lot. Now, that's not so bad, except that, remember, this is a room gig, and there's no rooms here. And I can't build a room, because you can't use walls, you can't use fences, you can't use half walls, roofs, platforms, nothing. You're supposed to use what's already there. Well, there's nothing there. That's an empty lot. So I start talking to the client, who is a single mom of 2 children living on an empty lot on the docks of Windenburg. So a real catch. And, I'm talking to her, and actually, we do keep getting some notices that like the baby's starving to death, probably going to get taken away by DHS. And Trey has a really big heart. He does. So while the other little wild ass kid there is making a mess, he goes over and he does feed the baby, which incidentally, Trey, I've been playing with him, excuse me, since The Sims 3. And in The Sims 3, that's how he kind of got a baby. He was helping some friends of his gentrify the unlucky side of Lucky Palms. And there was a single mom and her burrito baby living in like a movie theater, like an old movie theater, and which was not fit for habitation. That was Trey's excuse. It was not fit for habitation. And kind of the satirical joke behind my storyline with rehabbing that side of town was, like Trey says during one of the panels, he says, well, apparently the secret to making a part of town nice again is that you have to get rid of all the poor people. And it was a satirical jab at urban renewal, which often that seems to be the case with urban renewal. It's kind of like, where should we start making downtown nice again? Oh, see all the houses and apartments over there where the poor people live? Knock those down first. And so, because that's what seems to happen. It actually happens in my city too. If you go to Oklahoma City, they put in this beautiful new park. It's gorgeous. I love it. But what they do first, they knock down all the houses of all the poor people. So I was taking a satirical jab at that. But during that gameplay, he meets this single mom and the burrito baby. And she, in The Sims 3, if you remember, they just left those babies laying everywhere, which is why they're tied to a crib now, I think. Because in The Sims 3, people used to complain that, the little babies were just left all over the place. So I started following this storyline, and I thought, well, let's have Trey go check up on Mother of the Year, who was a celebrity, too, living in this rundown movie theater. And I always thought she was kind of one of those celebrities that pretty much is on, like, Hollywood Stories, Where Are They Now? Where she is the unlucky side of Lucky Palms. So he goes to check up on her on the house further down the street because they just keep pushing the poor people further down the street. And when he gets there, Burrito Baby is out on the front lawn, which is sand because it's Lucky Palms, it's desert, out on the front lawn in the blazing heat of Lucky Palms. And so I decided, Trey's just incensed, right? And he takes the baby with him and starts raising this baby in Lucky Palms. And already, that's kind of what I did in The Sims 4 too with Hooper. Hooper is part of my RM Cascadian crew. They found Hooper on the sidewalk, Mother nowhere to be found. And I thought, well, I'm just going to take Hooper with me. So I don't do that in real life. I've never just found a child, on the sidewalk and taken him with me. But in The Sims 4 so far, Trey did find a stray cat. Let's just say a spare cat. It is a spare cat. A stray cat. And he did adopt the cat already and took him home. But we're not adopting a stray baby. We're not. We fed it. It's not being taken away by DHS. So we're good to go. We're not going to adopt a stray baby. Yeah, Trey's probably going to adopt a stray baby, but not right now. We'll see. Maybe by the end of this series, he's probably going to have that baby in San Myshuno in his new apartment, sleeping on the sectional or something. I don't know. So right now, I decided, as you can tell, if you're watching this speed build of this lady's lot, I decided, I guess we can do a patio. I mean, I can't put an actual platform that outlines a room, but I can put down floor tiles to represent a room. And since we have the Moroccan pack, right, she likes the color black. Let's do kind of a black and white scheme with the Moroccan pack. And, these curved sectional seating, I mean, it looks great, doesn't it, with Morocco? I love it. So I start working on that and think, well, let's do an outdoor room. And that's what we ended up with here, which it looks good. I'm really pretty happy with how this is working out here. It changes a little bit by the end coming up, but it's not too bad, I think. I don't know if there's anything interesting here I've done that's any sort of real build technique. I am coming up here in a little bit. I'm going to use Control F to place some of the tiles in a more intricate pattern, which I already talked about with my sort of review of the Courtyard Oasis pack, doing that. But you'll see that again here coming up because it just looks great, and you can try that with other flooring types as well. Sometimes I've done that for other designs. It's particularly effective with these sort of mosaic tiles, that came with the Courtyard Oasis pack. And it fits. Now we've got our two most recent packs here on this yard. Our lot house, outdoor house, which is another thing, Mother of the Year here. She's finally got some money. And does she build a house? No. She has me come to build a room on an empty lot. And I can't put a roof on it. So we're going to work on it. Here I am. Here's where we're working on the tiles using Control F to make them a little more intricate. And, they look great. They look really good in the end, I think. I kind of extend out the tiles to the front and back So you walk kind of from the front all the way through to the back. And I oriented it so that there's a view of the fountain there in Windenburg. You know, there's a big fountain out in the water. So you have that beautiful view, and I may not have a roof. In fact, one of the light fixtures is just kind of hanging by magic there, but you know, it's still a pretty area. It's really nice. Location, location, location. That's what the realtor in my Sims game would tell you. This is location. Now, there's no walls. There's no roof. There's no bathroom, kitchen. But hey, I mean, you're in the hot new area of Windenburg. This is it. This is the space. This is investment. This is investment property. This is really going to be worth something once you have a structure on it. So we're getting here. I don't know how close. We're getting fairly close to the end, maybe a little bit. We're going to have the client come back, of course. We're coming up on the slideshow. We're going to come on the big reveal, and which in this case is from nothing to something. So it looks particularly good. And we'll get her kind of final view on it. Here he goes. Yes. Call the client back. And then host the reveal for she and her daughter. And they kind of cover their eyes again. This one makes more sense because they actually walk up to what I've done instead of to the outside. But so she walks up and, you know, they see it and we have the reveal. Looks quite nice, doesn't it? A big change in this one. Because, you know, there was nothing there. So big change. And they're going to walk around here in a little bit. And kind of, excuse me, I have allergies horrible in Oklahoma this time of year. And all day long I've been breathing allergen air, I guess. So they're going to walk around a little bit. He's going to show off some of the items, which is something, you know, you can do. You kind of say, well, look at this. It's a table. You didn't have one of these before. This is what people eat at. They don't just sit cross-legged on the ground and eat out of, you know, cans and stuff like that. Eat at a table. So he's showing them around, and then it takes a long time, though. It does take kind of a long time to get to asking, you know, their kind of final thoughts. In fact, Trey's just going to take a break here. I'm just going to sit down here while you guys look at stuff, and they kind of hug. And I hope that means they like it. I'm assuming that mom and daughter are talking, oh, my God, isn't this great and this wonderful? Do you think we should tell them what we think? Not yet. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. So they give a hug. And you get an idea here, though, of how long this really does take. See, I'm checking again. Is it time yet? Is it time? Because I kind of cut and blur, but finally this time. Here we go. It's got a check mark. She really likes it. She's very happy with it. You can kind of tell, you know, she's like, oh, God, furniture, seating. I never dreamed of such luxuries. So, she's good to go. I do check in with the daughter. It was the same thing. I got a huge payout on this, which was really great. I actually got more money, like $1,000 or something is what I got off this job. So it was like almost double. So obviously I did a really good job with it somehow. And you will make more money if you do a really good job. So after that, he's heading home. We're heading into this preliminary review. So let's see here. Now I've played it for a little bit, and what can I say? What is here is good. What is here is good. There's a lot of things I've been wanting, a lot of things a lot of people have been wanting. We have sectional sofas, we have modular cabinetry, a whole bunch of stuff. And even things like the clothing rack's really cool, the cooktop, you know, the counter cooktop, the under counter ovens, toaster ovens, even the kids' playhouse, which I haven't had a chance to use yet. I think I will soon, but not yet. All is very cool. It's very neat. It's things that people have been wanting. The career is okay. I mean, it's great to have a framework for a build style challenge integrated into the game as a career that you can earn money from. It's been fun. I mean, so far I've done more than 2. This is the second one. I've done 3 so far, coming up on the 4th one. So, you know, I've really enjoyed them. They've been very surprising. Part of the surprising part is the way I do my game. I don't know how many people will have families living on empty lots like I did. You saw some pictures in some of the other videos. I mean, I have some pretty crazy half-finished builds laying around, empty lots like this one. So it's been surprising what I've had to do so far, and that's really helped, I think. But the career itself, the career feels very much like a stuff pack career. It doesn't feel like a game pack career. It doesn't have the sort of options and choices and growth like, say, Vampires or Realm of Magic had, which were game pack kind of careers, kind of like that. This is a very straightforward Sims career where, you go to work, you do good, you move ahead a little bit or maybe a little bit more than a little bit, or you don't move ahead at all if you do poorly. And over time, you reach the top of the career through a series of steps and you get more money. And maybe it's a harder challenge. It's very straightforward. It's very basic. If this was a stuff pack for $10, the career would be great. I think we were like, wow, they really included a career with the stuff pack. That's awesome. And that's what it feels like it was. Like maybe it was intended to be a stuff pack career, but then at the end of the day, there was more stuff than would fit in a stuff pack, because there is more stuff here than will fit in a stuff pack. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. Is it enough to justify a $20 price tag? It depends on how much you like stuff. Because the career's not enough to justify it, and there's no world with this pack. So that's not going to justify it, the price. So do you really love stuff? There's a good selection of stuff, and some things like the sectionals and the modular cabinetry are new mechanisms in game. New what I consider gameplay mechanisms, because I do consider building a form of playing this game. It always has been. The Sims started as a building idea, building your home, building a dream home, and then the Sims kind of grew out of that. But building has been integral to the Sims from the start as a part of the game. That's part of the gameplay. So as far as that goes, you do have those two new mechanisms that contribute to that aspect of gameplay. But it's $20, you guys, and you really are going to have to say, is that worth it to you for $20? Now, if you're me, yeah, it's worth it to me. But The Sims is what I do all the time. I have 15,000 hours in The Sims 4 alone. Okay? And if you counted up all the hours I have, 1, 2, and 3, and I could have a whole nother life. So yeah, this is my hobby. This is something I really like. So for me to say, well, I'm going to spend $20, it's not a great deal, but I do want sectionals and I do want this modular cabinetry, and the career has so far been fun. I don't think it's going to be like game changing. Like, oh my God, before I had that career, I didn't even like The Sims. It's not going to be like that. But for me, the price is worth it. And also from my financial standpoint, I mentioned recently kind of what I, spent money on. $20 isn't a whole lot to say, well, I'll choose this pack instead of something else. That is not true for everybody. And The Sims isn't everybody's all-consuming hobby like it is mine. Like if it is, if you like building and cast and gameplay and telling stories like I do, and you're constantly have The Sims open when you have free time, this pack will be worth it. It's not a great deal, but it'll be worth it. You'll enjoy it. If that's not the case, and if your entertainment budget is smaller and you have to make harder choices with it, you're really going to have to think about it, because it is $20. You might want to wait for it to go on sale. If I were going to buy a game pack, if I could only buy one, it wouldn't be this one. It wouldn't. I'm sorry, and I do like it. That does not mean I don't like it. That means there's better game pack values for your money. Okay? Vampires and Realm of Magic. Hell, even Journey to Batu, I think, is a better deal for your money than this. I do. You may not like Star Wars. You may not want to do the missions, whatever. It's still a better deal. You still get a lot of shit with Journey to Batu and a game to do and stuff like that. So my thing is, I do like this pack. The stuff that is in it is done well. Stuff that's in it is done well. You will like it. The sectional furniture and stuff like that, I think you'll like. The career, I think you'll like. I do think you'll like it. It's pretty basic. Doesn't mean you won't like it. Doesn't mean it isn't good. It's just basic. So take that into consideration when you go to buy it. Just know what you're getting into. If you have $20 this week to spend on entertainment, and you're thinking either I'm going to go to the movies or I'm going to buy this game pack, I'd get the pack. If that's the choice you're making, I'd probably get the pack. I don't think there's anything out the movies I want to see anyway. So yeah, I mean, if that's your thing, if he's like, well, I have $20 this week for entertainment, and I've got this handful of choices, probably I'd go with the pack. If you've got $20 this month to spend on entertainment, I wouldn't get the pack. It's not going to last a month. I don't think it's going to entertain you a month. I think that it'll entertain you a week for sure. And I think you'll use the stuff long term in the game, but I don't think you'll regularly think to yourself, oh, thank God I bought this and have this on hand. I don't think you're going to think that necessarily all that often. But you'll enjoy the career for a little bit, I think. Now, in a few days, at the end of this week that we're in now, I'll do a wait and play review and say, hey, I've been playing this for like a week. This is how I feel about it at the end. And we'll look at it then more closely. In the meantime, thanks for watching today. I will have, my plan is to have an episode of Trey's Adventure out every single day until the end of the week when we'll have that final review and the final episode. I might still do more stuff with Trey, but kind of the final thing with Dream Home Decorator at the end of the week. So which will be like probably Sunday, June, whatever the day that is, June the 5th or 6th. And that was it. In the meantime, thank you for watching today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.